everyone. Today we are at Hawk Mountain doing a nice little hike. I am with my friend Tiffany. She's over here somewhere behind the car. There she is. And we're going to be talking about section hiking. Hey everyone, it's Silva, and today is the first sunny day in, I don't know, a long time. So we're out here exploring the trail, and today's video is going to be 8 reasons why I liked section hiking or lashing the Appalachian Trail. We're currently on the Cypress Trail, so a lot of the other trails seem overgrown, but for now we're on this one. So my 8 reasons are not in any particular order. I just kind of came up with my 8 reasons, but one is not necessarily more important than the other. All right, reason number 1 would be the flexibility. Being able to schedule around family, if you have family commitments or family that needs your help because they're ill, like I needed to help my mom, or if maybe work commitments, maybe you can only get so much time off from work, maybe you can only do 2 weeks at a time, or maybe you can do 6 weeks at a time, and you don't have to take a full 6 to 7 months off of work to be able to do a through hike. You can do several short sections of the trail or a lash. If you don't know what lash means, it means long A section hike. So I would say anything over 160 plus miles would consider a lash, but some people can only get out there for a couple days and do a short section hike, and that's fine too. Here's a little peek of a lookout. A lot of trees grown in since the last time I was here. Actually, I think the last time I was here it was in winter, so I'll link that video here if I did one. All right, through the trees a little bit. A little hazy, not too bad. Reason number 2 would be it's easier to save up for a section as opposed to an entire through hike, and it's a little bit more affordable, especially in the short term. Yes, you may have to do more travel back and forth, but if you're only taking a few weeks off of work, or if you're taking even 6 or 8 weeks off from work, it's a little easier to continue to pay your expenses at home and be out on trail, especially if you don't have to quit your job. So more affordable would be reason number 2. We're walking on the side where the trail is, and all these frogs were jumping off the trail. It's kind of funny. Reason number 3 would be you can pick the time of year. So you could go and you have beautiful fall colors, or you could go in the spring after the mud season, or while everything's blooming. You could avoid the heat and the bugs. And again, if you have any commitments, you can schedule it to any time of year. It's a little more flexibility because you don't have to be out there for 5 or 6 or 7 months. You can also pick the direction you're going a little bit more easily. And if you know a section is going to have less elevation gain going Nobo or Sobo, you can kind of pick that direction if you choose. A little froggy chilling in the water. Whoops. Few little rocks, but nothing major at all. This is a nice family-friendly hike. For an easy hike, you get a pretty big view. Right there, that is Pleasant Mountain. I've done a recent video on Pleasant Mountain, and I will link that here in the corner for you if you want to check it out. Reason number 4 would be easier to fix gear malfunctions, or if your shoes aren't working well for you, when I had blisters and I went home for a couple weeks, I was able to get new shoes and socks and fix the issue. So if you're only out there for a few weeks, you can kind of live with a tent you don't like and then fix it before you go back on trail. But if you're out there for months on end, it's a little harder to replace gear. Not impossible, just harder. So I think doing section hikes, it's easier to deal with gear malfunctions. This next little section looks like it might be overgrown. In the wintertime, there's usually a view here, but I don't know. A little tiny bit. Reason number 5 is more time to explore side trails, not feel so rushed. There were some days when I was on my LASH that I did only 5 miles on the Appalachian Trail, but we ended up doing many more miles because we went to go see a waterfall. Or one of the things that I saw that really made me sad for this particular couple through hikers was when I was doing the Virginia Triple Crown, and I got to the first one, which was Dragon's Tooth. Well, the first one in the order I was going was Dragon's Tooth, and it was only 0.1 of a fairly easy hike off trail. And there were 2 or 3 through hikers there that decided they didn't have time to go the 0.1 to see the first Virginia Triple Crown, and they skipped it. And I thought, man, that's their choice, and I understand they're trying to make miles, but it's so sad to miss out on something that you may never see again just because you're in a hurry and you want to skip 0.1 of a trail. There are other hikers that I was like, oh, there's this beautiful view. And they're like, oh, I don't have time. I just gotta go. And that was one of the things that made me think, man, I just want to be able to take my time and smell the proverbial roses and see the sights. Look, we're starting to get some blueberries here in Maine. It's just starting. I love little wild blueberries. All right, there we are. There's a few. Yum. Oh, they're so good.
As long as we don't see any bears.
We'll be all right. I'm not too worried. So we took a slightly different trail. I've actually never come on this trail. It's been pretty nice. It's only marked by pink little tags, but it's definitely a well-kept trail. And we found the blueberries, so bonus. Reason number 6 would be you are less likely to have long-term injuries on a section hike or a LASH than on a through hike, and you're less likely to push yourself to keep going when you're injured. In 2021, when I was attempting my through hike, I had a severe injury, and I tried to keep going for 150 miles and made it much worse because I wanted to through hike. And I know, looking back, that was probably a bad plan. And when I got off this year, my heel was bothering me, and it was a good time to get off the trail because it's still sore, but it's healing. But had I kept going, I think I would have made it much worse. Number 7 is when you do a LASH, especially if you're doing a LASH, or even if you're out there for a couple weeks, chances are you're going to be staying at a hostel at least once or twice, depending on how long you're out there. So you're still having some of the same experiences you would if you were doing the entire trail. You still have to resupply. You still have to, stop somewhere and shower and recharge your gear if you have electronics. I was out there for 6 weeks and I still made a trail family. So you still have a lot of the same advantages that you do, as part of the through hike. It's not exactly the same at all, so I'm not saying that, but lots of it, you have to carry the same gear whether you're out there for 2 weeks or 6 months. You still need the same gear and still live the same experiences. So that's pretty cool. You still get to do some of those really fun things that you would if you were doing the whole through hike. All right, so here's where the trail comes out. We were on the Hannibal Trail. There was no marker up top, but there was one down here, so. Now we're going back to the main trail, which is the Cypress Trail. Look at that blue sky. Haven't seen that in quite a while. That's really nice. I think it's going to be a few days before we see it again too, unfortunately. hoping to get out for a longer hike this weekend. We'll see. Number 8, last and not least, and I'm sure there are many more reasons, but for my last reason is that I have something to look forward to and plan for next year. So when I get off the trail, I could already start thinking about the next section I'm going to do and start planning for it. And I think you're less likely to have post-trail blues because you already know you're going back to do another section, whether it's in the fall or the following year. So I think it's a little easier to not be as sad getting off the trail. Down here. All right, we made it back to the car, got our backpacks off, had some water, AC's on. So I just want to say thanks so much for following along. If you had any questions about my reasons, be sure to put them in the comments below. I really appreciate all the different comments and you following along. If you haven't already subscribed, I would really appreciate if you did. I'm trying to grow my channel more, and it's a little harder when you're not posting videos every single day, but I'm working on it. So have a fantastic week, and I'll see you in the next video.